All right, I want to talk about superheroes. And I think it's relevant to our viewers' lives because many of them fall right into the range where superhero movies have been a major part of the culture in their lives.
I feel invested in this. I'm
yeah.
a big superhero movie fan. I grew up like reading comic books. I love most superhero movies.
I didn't know you read
in
comic
general,
books.
or at least like these big franchises. Like I'm mostly a Marvel fan. I didn't really like grow up with DC or anything.
Sure.
I was like really invested in these like big franchises and movies and everything. And I have a lot of opinions on like why this has all ended up where it has now. And I still enjoy these movies to an extent. I think my favorite movie ever is a superhero movie. So
Oh yeah, name
what's
3
that?
superheroes.
my favorite movie ever is The Dark Knight. And I can
I thought
That's a kind of a
the
superhero
Social
movie.
Network.
I guess it is.
yeah, it's like one of the least superhero
Yeah,
movies, so I'll give you
yeah.
that. But in general, very big fan. So I'm excited to hear it.
I'm excited to hear your opinions then. Let me just give you the business context here and we'll go into it. So, little backstory. Superhero movies through the 70s, 80s, and even 90s are mostly flop. They're few and far between. They have a few, like Superman franchise was kind of a hit, but mostly they're campy, they don't get critical acclaim, and they do decently at the box office, but nothing special. They're just done few and far between on the biggest franchises. There's the Batman that Jack Nicholson does is the villain. And then around 97, they ramp up with the Batman series because this one was pretty successful. And then around 97, they get the George Clooney Batman and Robin. So we get this really, really campy, really terrible, low-reviewed movie with, big stars like Arnold playing Mr. Freeze. And every line in this movie is an ice pun.
The Iceman cometh.
Please, show some mercy.
Mercy? I'm afraid that my condition has left me cold to your pleas of mercy.
He does a million more. He does like, what killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
You're not sending me to
It's
the
gonna do a
cold.
million. Okay, you can pause. Truly terrible, a true critical flop, doesn't make very much money, and Hollywood kind of decides, if we have George Clooney and Arnold Schwarzenegger at the prime of their careers and we can't make it work, superhero movies are dumb.
What
They're
could we
stupid.
possibly do?
Nothing could have fixed that. And so in the next 2 years, there's no superhero movies at all. I think there's only one, and we'll talk about it for a second. There's Blade. Now, Blade is very under-discussed. I don't even know it's a Marvel property, but Blade is actually the only thing that keeps the ember alive.
Let's go.
Because Blade is a tiny Marvel franchise from their new little fledgling Marvel unit, and it makes a nice return on its budget. Nothing crazy.
During COVID, when I moved in with Ludwig, Slime, and Nick, we would watch movies a lot. And we had a week where we watched the Blade trilogy, one movie each night, and then we watched all of the John Wick movies back to back to back.
Okay.
And the Blade movies kind of rip.
Do they?
The first Blade movie is kind of sick.
So if you haven't seen the first Blade movie, Doug, I just got one quote here.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
Damn. Damn.
So Blade's
okay.
pretty badass.
Yeah, I know. I'm in.
And it does not amazing. Nobody's writing about it, but it did good. It made its money back, plus more people were happy. And because of that, their other fledgling project doesn't get canceled. And that project is X-Men. Okay, we enter the 2000s now. This is the year 2000. This movie is a surprising hit. Even though it's kind of campy, even though it's got superheroes, even though it's got powers, audiences respond well. It gets pretty good reviews. People are excited about it. They want more. And it does pretty well at the box office. And then right after that, we get the one that really kicks it off. Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Yes, sir.
Cinema.
Yes, sir.
And I think a lot of people have a very fond memory of this movie and the trilogy of movies that it spawned. It just hit at the right time, and this was a smash success. I believe this is the #1 movie overall of 2002. It beats like Harry Potter movies. It beats Star Wars. It beats a lot of big franchises.
Damn.
And so Hollywood suddenly realizes that there's a lot of money to be made here. And so in the 2000s, we get the beginning of what will become the superhero dominance. So we get all these movies you can see here, and they start taking off. Not all of them are good. It's hits and misses, but they make a decent amount of money, and people are clearly interested. There's a hunger for it.
Mm-hmm.
So in the 2000s, we got in total 31 superhero movies and 3 shows. As basically a boomer of the internet now, these are the ones that I remember and that I like, okay? And then at the end of the 2000s, I don't have a picture for this here, we get Aiden's favorite movie. We get The Dark Knight at 2009. And we get in the exact same year, like 1 month before or after, we get Iron Man. Okay. And these two combined give superheroes everything it was finally missing. It gives it critical acclaim, cultural acclaim, and it also gives it the beginning of what would become the Marvel web of franchises, everything interconnected. It gives you watch one, you have to watch the next one, you have to watch the other ones. So those two combine, and superheroes get heroin, they get cocaine, they get shot off into the stratosphere. So over the next decade, this is the 2010s, this is where most Zoomers got into it. We go from an average of 3 movies a year and almost no shows per year to 4.5 movies a year and a lot of shows. We get a ton more Marvel. This is Avengers kicks off this decade, and it goes all the way through the decade. And then at the end of the decade, we get Avengers Endgame. 2019. And this is what you might say is the culmination of this decade that everyone attached to. This movie does absolutely insane numbers. I believe it's the second highest grossing movie of all time. Doesn't quite beat Avatar,
It's
which
crazy
is
that Avatar's still won, to be
number
honest.
one. And that's not even counting inflation.
Cultural
That's
icon.
insane. But it's seen all over the world. It's this huge cultural touchstone. And then we get COVID, okay? And then we get into the 2020s. This is our decade now. Now, I've annualized these numbers. This is not the actual total number. This is as if you basically have to double it because it's only been 5 years. But we're getting an annualized number of 6 movies a year and 4 TV shows a year. Way more than we were getting before, but it's after Endgame and everyone's kind of possibly moved on. I want to talk about it. So this is where we're in now, where we're getting more superhero stuff than ever, but the critical acclaim is down, the box office is down, and we're getting movies like this. So Madam Web comes out recently, flop. Eternals comes out, gigantic budget, like $400 million budget, flop. Kraven the Hunter from Sony, flop. Thunderbolt, even highly reviewed ones though, are now starting to do underperformed. We got Fantastic Four just came out. Listen, this is a well-reviewed movie, lost $100 million. Fantastic Four, fairly well-reviewed, probably going to lose, I think, a lot less, maybe 20 to 50. And now, starting right now today, there are no superhero movies for the next 6 months, which has not happened since 2011. We haven't had a gap like this. Hollywood's like tried and tried and tried for the past, basically since the 2020s started, and they've been diminishing returns. And now it's finally like they're soft giving up. And this will be the first year since 2011 without an MCU film in the domestic top 5,
That's crazy.
which is like not happened. And so the last chance for Marvel, they have one last shot on goal. They have Avengers Doomsday coming Christmas next year. They spent an absolutely gargantuan amount of money to get Robert Downey Jr. said he was done. His character died. Tony Stark died. He said, I'm done with Marvel. They said, what if we gave you $200 million, the most any actor has ever been paid for a movie ever? Second highest is Keanu Reeves because he took like percentage points on the Matrix trilogy and got like, no one's close. So RDJ is going to get $200 million. He comes back. He's going to play Doctor Doom. This is their last chance. If this fails, it seems completely over for Marvel. This is like everything's trying to build to this. What's next? So I want to also posit a question. Let's talk about this all. Give your thoughts. But I want to ask, if superheroes are over, Hollywood is not going to suddenly become creative. What is next? And I think the answer, if you look at the stats, is video games. Mario Bros. Did a billy. Minecraft movie did a billy. Sonic 3 did way more than Eternals at 1/3 of the cost. This is what it seems like we're leaning into. So is it a superhero into video game era? Do superheroes still have juice? I leave the question to you guys. I want to know what you think, but that's my little catch-up presentation. Hey, you look dumbfounded, but you're a superhero.